Coming up on AgweekTV, the Trump administration has announced a $12 billion trade compensation package. We'll find out what it really means for farmers.
We'll take you to the USDA's Northern Great Plains Research Laboratory's Friends and Neighbors Day in Mandan, North Dakota.
And the lads and I stop at one of the longest running truck gardens in the I-29 corridor.
Welcome to AgweekTV. I'm Michelle Ruck. Trade headlines continue to dominate the marketplace this week. Starting with the news, the U.S. and China agreed to resume talks to delay the next $16 billion of U.S. tariffs on China imports. However, by Wednesday, President Trump asked the USTR to consider raising its proposed tariffs on $200 billion of Chinese goods from 10 to 25%. The move came as talks between the two countries stalled. A final decision on the rate isn't expected until September. Meanwhile, Ag Secretary Sonny Perdue justified the administration's $12 billion trade compensation package to offset the tariffs.
We're not trying to replace farm income per se. We believe that the marketing disadvantages by the retaliatory tariffs have an impact on that.
Perdue says the program includes government food purchases by the Commodity Credit Corporation of surplus affected commodities and a trade promotion program. It also involves direct payments for soybeans, sorghum, corn, wheat, cotton, dairy, and hogs. However, the details will not be released until Labor Day. The aid package is speculated to contain direct payments of between $7 to $8 billion, but the big unknown is the payment amount.
And that's something that's still to be in the detail to be worked out. I've heard that it's going to be tied to this year's production.
While most farmers sold old crop soybeans before the $2 drop in prices, they will be hurt this fall and question if the payments will be adequate.
I think this fall is coming very fast, and I don't see a whole lot of things happening, real quickly. But they could. But how do you, even if you do get them back, how do you get that $2 of the market back?
Willers also wonders how USDA will figure market losses and do it equitably.
Who gets what, and how do you figure that out? I mean, there's some big people that have sold some grain ahead and some haven't. I mean, what's fair?
Plus, farmers say they want trade, not aid.
We don't want a subsidy. Never have wanted to farm that way. It's not sustainable, and we just need to make our money from the market.
They also welcome trade promotion to open new markets, but don't want to lose existing ones.
We just hope that we can keep maintaining our sales in the future, whether they be through other countries with new markets or whether our old customers come back.
And farmers want the trade war resolved quickly so they don't lose more market share with key export customers. Last week, the U.S. and European Union announced a trade agreement that included the EU lowering tariffs on industrial goods and working to buy more soybeans. However, the deal left many unanswered questions, including the volume of additional soybeans the EU would buy. Plus, the EU has already been buying more beans with the recent price break. The other unknown is how much additional business the U.S. can pick up, since the EU typically buys non-GMO soybeans.
As we know, there are not many non-GMO beans around much anymore. I think around 98% of U.S. soy is biotech. So with that, how are they going to source it?
Anderson says the deal really isn't a breakthrough since there aren't any tariffs currently on U.S. soybeans going into the EU. The face of ag is changing in the upper Midwest. Last week, Jonathan Knudsen brought us the story of two men from different countries who came to North Dakota to improve ag and their lives. This week, he introduces us to a woman making a name for herself in a traditionally male field.
Women have always been a vital part of upper Midwest ag. Today, that role is broader and more diverse than ever. Ashley Kohls is a perfect example.
So I guess I wear a lot of hats for the beef industry in the state of Minnesota.
She has multiple roles in ag. She runs a cattle operation with her husband, Craig, near Hutchinson, Minnesota, west of the Twin Cities. She's executive director of the State Cattlemen's Association. She's beef quality assurance coordinator in the state. And she's mother of two.
I work more than 40 hours every week, but I enjoy the diversity of my job. I enjoy getting to wear all of those hats every day. We also have a couple of kiddos as well, so it's fun to be able to raise kids on a farm. It's not something that most kids nowadays are lucky enough to get to do.
Ashley and Craig met when they were students at South Dakota State University. He says her busy schedule can be challenging, but he's happy to support her.
The only challenges would really be, I guess, is when she's out of town for periods of time, but I've got a tremendous family support system that can help with the kids and with the farm being somewhat time demanding at times, but we've always been able to make it work, and she's passionate about what she does, so we try to work with all the schedules and everybody works together and makes it work fine.
I would like to be known for what I do because I'm good at what I do, not because I'm a woman in ag.
Ashley's dual career is challenging. It's also satisfying and enjoyable. For Ag Week, I'm Jonathan Knutson.
Here's an interesting fact about women in ag. More than half of all bachelor's degrees in ag go to women. That's up from 1 in 3 30 years ago. Ahead on Ag Week TV, we'll hear what some economists think about the future of the ag economy and our weekly market analysis.
My name's Joel Kaler, owner-operator of Kaler Farms in Lidgerwood, North Dakota. We make a patented product called a corn stalk guide. Helps guide corn stalks into the grabs and the chains a lot smoother without losing corn. The corn stalk, when it comes off of our product, it's already on the gathering chain instead of being able to hit that idler. Our product will keep all the wear off the snout and get it to come into the head smoother without bouncing.
I'm 120, I'm 30, 130, 55, once around the block, 212 miles right here, now half times up.
If you're thinking about selling a piece of land, or you're looking to sell some farm equipment, or if you're thinking about a retirement or involved in an estate, give us a call. We'll sit down and tell you all about the Steffes way. We think it's a good way. That's how we approach it. If any of those are in your plans, give us a call or go to steffesgroup.com. Learn all about us. Hope to hear from you.
Advanced Grain Handling is your regional dealer for grain handler dryers, bins, and accessories. With Grain Handler's continuous mixed flow drying systems, you're capable of high levels of grain dryer efficiency on all types of grain, including seed grain. Advanced Grain Handling also carries West Steel's quality stainless steel products for on-farm and commercial grain storage solutions. Advanced Grain Handling has licensed and trained service techs and a licensed electrical shop. Get a hold of Chad Kylo to find the perfect solution for your farm.
At Superior Grain Equipment, we're committed to quality and service, offering you the best in grain storage and dryers for any size operation. Our experts will work with you to determine the most efficient and economical storage solution for your needs. We help protect your bottom line and your future with the industry's best bins and warranties. Make the superior choice for protection today and tomorrow with Superior Grain Equipment.
Ag Week TV, presented by Kaler Farms.
Take already low commodity prices, add a trade war, and higher interest rates, and you have the recipe for trouble for farmers. Ag lenders say they're seeing more concern among their clients. Ag economist David Kohls gave his insight to farmers, lenders, and agribusiness leaders this week in Moorhead.
Wars, but I didn't see this coming this fast, this drastic. And one of the things that I'm very, very concerned is the long-term economic health of agriculture because of these.
David Kohls has been watching trade developments this last year as 1 out of every $5 of net farm income is generated by exports. He says what has taken decades to build is being lost alarmingly fast.
The past 6 months has not been good in keeping that trust with our international trading partners. So, as we put tariffs on, it's allowed our competitors to come in.
Kohls says the $12 billion aid package is just a Band-Aid, and that money could be better used to help farmers long term.
I think some of that $12 billion could be used for innovation, aligning up with our marketplace, because that international marketplace and the domestic marketplace is constantly changing.
Lynn Paulson, an ag specialist at Bell Bank, says many growers were seeing a light at the end of a 5-year tunnel of low prices. But now, with the uncertainty, he anticipates some casualties of the trade war.
There was producers that were stressed going into this, and there are producers that have maybe some excess leverage and so forth that would be challenged to do that, and there may be some decisions to be made after the crop is in and some operations.
Michael Clemens farms in east central North Dakota. He remembers how long it took to recover from the Carter grain embargo and is worried the market impact of this trade war will be similar.
Really, we're the soldiers in the field now, literally. our fields out there are being used as the weapon in this trade war, and it's really affecting everybody's bottom line.
Kohls also says the rising interest rates increase the cost of borrowing and further strengthen the dollar, which hurts exports. In Moorhead, this is Rose Dunn for Ag Week.
Joining us this week with market analysis is Luke Swenson. And Luke, most of the grains have seen a little bit of a short-term uptrend or tick up now here from a technical perspective, but August is a big month here, especially with weather and trade headlines, isn't it?
Yeah, we started out the crop slow, but we've pushed it along. June was bad across the I-states. You had, lots of moisture, things that helped kind of catch this crop bump once you had it in the field, but then we've had extra heat and we've really kind of pushed it through. So you've got crop that went from 5 days behind to about almost 10 to 14 days ahead in a lot of different spots. The one thing we do know is, the last 2 months, we've kind of been 3 to 4 degrees above for a lot of the big production areas in corn and beans, above where we've been the last few years. So that could take its toll because our big fill years where we've had record yields, we've been nice and cool and allowed this crop to grow, get heavy and bigger as we went on throughout the year. Soybeans kind of absorbed the trade headlines pretty well this week, though. Yeah, just on rumors that we were going to start talking, it wasn't anything. It was, it's some random staffer that said Mnuchin's going to start talking to China, and we were up 30. 2 hours after market close, they come out and say we're going to more than double tariffs on $200 billion worth of goods, and the next day we're down 10 to 12. Like, you can tell the heavy sellers are out of this market. Like, they got their position on, and there's not a lot that can get to it. And the premium is starting to add up on the rally side, thinking there's going to be a deal done. But it's a coin flip whether it's 2 days, 2 weeks, or 2 months. And wheat's been the darling with the big rally on European weather concerns. How long and far can we push that market? We told our producers this week, let's put some stops under this market. Ending stocks are getting tighter, but as you sit and play a bullish story out, when you're getting close to harvest, there's only so long you can play the story. Fact or not, whether or not there's some more reductions that happen, it's going to be an old story sometime soon. We think in the long run, fundamentally, it needs to keep going, but put some trailing stops on this thing and start selling into it in case it starts to soften up. All right, thanks for joining us. You can see our extended conversation at agweek.com. Up next on AgweekTV, SDSU Field Days showcase new cropping and weed management technology, and a look at your weather outlook for the coming week.
Intelligent farming means more crop from every acre. That starts with smart machines and precision application. Introducing the new Rogator C-Series from Challenger, featuring a newer, smarter, more precise way to apply fertilizers and nutrients, more accurately and more efficiently than ever before, resulting in less overlap and less crop damage, all to make you more productive and more profitable. To find out more, contact Butler Machinery today.
Micro Essentials is a premium phosphate product. It's a dry granular product. The main difference with a Micro Essentials type product is you have a homogeneous granule for the nitrogen, the sulfur, the phosphorus, and in this case, the zinc is all in one granule. If you ever have a desire or a need to learn more about what does sulfur do within a soybean plant, what does the potassium do for the corn crop, we have microessentials.com. We also have a great resource, cropnutrition.com.
Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley source for Batco. Mayo Manufacturing, your Red River Valley Batco dealer.
There's something for everyone at Dakota Fest, August 21st, 22nd, and 23rd in Mitchell, South Dakota, featuring over 500 suppliers, education sessions from SDSU Extension, and don't miss Chad Greenway speak on Tuesday. Plus, pig races are back at the all-new Farm Bureau Financial Services Rural Lifestyle Pavilion. For discounted admission and to download the show app, visit dakotafest.com today. Dakota Fest is sponsored by South Dakota State University Extension, Farm Credit Services of America, and Farm Bureau Financial Services.
Farmers continue to rely on land grant research to make cropping decisions. SDSU recently held its field days to showcase trials on cropping and weed management systems, as well as cover crops. At the Volga Tour, researchers displayed the newest technology they're testing in biotech weed control systems.
And by new technologies, I mean in the seed area. Really, we're not dealing with much new chemistry.
The SDSU plots also featured control trials for weeds like water hemp that are resistant to glyphosate or Roundup.
With glyphosate, we're running a good 50% resistance, and consequently that helps us evaluate those treatments.
They're also looking at systems for resistant kochia and mare's tail, which are costly to soybean farmers.
Now we're talking a lot of treatments, $40-50 an acre a year, with the pre-emergence down and following with post-emergence programs.
Anthony Bly also talked about research looking at the impact of planting cover crops like cereal rye with a high carbon to nitrogen ratio versus clover, which has a narrow ratio.
If you have a low residue crop to begin with and you come back and plant another crop or a legume crop that has a narrow carbon to nitrogen ratio, your residue can disappear faster than you want it to.
He says that residue lowers soil erosion and captures carbon.
It provides a great avenue for cycling nutrients and keeping the nutrients in the ecosystem.
Plus, those cover crops aid in weed suppression. Here's John with our agri-weather outlook.
Weather portion of Ag Week. Now, the first part of August has brought a nice transition toward much milder temperatures. In fact, the first day of August was fairly cool up in North Dakota in particular. But the outlook going forward is going to bring a surge of heat back into the area. We've already experienced some of that the last few days, but we may be setting up for a bit of a heat wave in the Corn Belt and a trend toward drier than average weather for the first half of the month of August. It's all due to some changes in the jet stream. Troughing in the west and ridging in the east is about to switch back to the west again, which will allow that ridge to build up hot temperatures throughout the Pacific Northwest. But this swirl of a storm will eventually change things in the Pacific Northwest. First of all, it'll allow the heat to build up in the western part of the continent. It'll allow cool weather from Hudson Bay to drop south again, not as far south as it did earlier in the month, but it will bring some cooler weather. And then as this storm begins to move ashore, we'll actually see some rainfall coming into the Pacific Northwest by sometime early next week, around the middle part of August, and that will likely cause this dome, a ridge of high pressure, to build up through the middle part of the country. This could result in a fairly long period of some fairly hot temperatures. We're going to have some rain. Well, we are going to see some stormy weather the next few days throughout the Corn Belt. Maybe a few spotty thunder showers in the northern plains as well. The west, of course, will be dry under all that powerful ridging. Eventually, the rain will sag down and take up residence in the deep south. There'll be some storms in the Corn Belt by the weekend. Watch this high pressure ridge. That's going to be mostly dry weather. So that next week, as that little wave comes ashore, we'll finally start seeing the dryness take over much of the Corn Belt. So if we don't get too much rain over this week, we could be looking at some crop stresses by next week.
Add more bushels to your hopper and money to your pocket by harnessing the power of air with Crary Wind Systems. Whether your beans are chest high or barely off the ground, Crary offers two solutions that add a constant stream of high-velocity air to quickly feed crop back to the auger, eliminating bunching, reducing shatter loss, and increasing your ground speed. Don't let crop conditions dictate your yield. Check out the Crary Air Reel or Crary Wind System today.
Ag Week is excited to bring you the Ag Week app with useful features and the latest news and information right at your fingertips. Get your Ag Week news, weather, and the latest episodes of AgweekTV. Plus, see real-time information on the futures market and view local cash bids for your crops. Stay updated and take Ag Week with you wherever you are. Download the Ag Week app today.
This is Dennis Belisky reminding you we do auctions and we do them well. You've built your operation with hard work, and when it's time to sell, all or part, you deserve the best. Details from repairs and preparation to promotion and settlements are not routine. Chances are you'll only do this once, so we'll tailor an auction just for you and get it done right. On-site at your farm or added to one of our highly successful Alaris Center auctions, we have the skill, reputation, and integrity to meet your needs with best-in-class commitment and quality service. Find us at resourceauction.com or call 701-757-4015.
Big Boy Toys.
Martinson Ag Risk Management offers a variety of crop marketing and crop insurance packages to our customers. With over 40 years of experience, our dedicated staff works hard to ensure you get the best advice on crop insurance, marketing, and risk management. Contact Randy or any of the staff at Martinson Ag Risk Management today at 701-205-4200 or visit us online at martinsonag.com. The AgweekTV Ag Tech Minute is brought to you by Bushel.
In this week's Ag Tech Minute, we take a look at Harvest Profit. It's web-based farm business software that offers growers better visibility into their numbers for greater confidence in decision-making.
It's a profit and loss statement that changes on a daily basis based on what's happened with futures prices, input usage on a field-by-field basis, how much grain they have sold, how much they have unsold, and it all flows through to this P&L statement. From there, they can do some different what-if analysis. They can build a grain marketing plan. We want to give them better visibility into their numbers so they can know, if I put on some more fertilizer today, how does that affect my bottom line? If I sell some more corn or soybeans or wheat today, is that profitable? One of the big features that we've seen users really gravitate towards is field-by-field profitability. What fields are making money? What fields are losing money? If I look at adding new fields, how does that affect my bottom line? Maybe I should let go of a couple unproductive fields. So really just giving them the visibility into into the number side of the farm to give them the confidence to kind of take control of those decisions and be proactive instead of reactive.
Horeb says they currently have about 320 Harvest Profit customers in 26 states and 4 provinces. There's important ag research going on at the Northern Great Plains Lab near Mandan. For more than 100 years, the lab has been working to improve ag, and as Jenny Schlecht reports, for the past 30 years, they've been inviting friends and neighbors in to see their progress.
The Northern Great Plains Research Laboratory south of Mandan, North Dakota has been doing important agriculture research for 105 years. Every year, they invite their friends and neighbors to come out and see what they're working on.
We do a lot of research out here, and people might drive by and wonder what's going on, and so this is the time for them to come out and see what it is.
The scientists here help producers in North Dakota and around the world improve productivity and profitability. But this event is for those who live close by, whether or not they farm.
It's all about translating science to practice. And so this gives us, a forum to be able to say, hey, look at this decision aid that we developed. This may be something that you can use, within your production system, or if you're a gardener, you can use this as well.
Perry Schlosser doesn't farm, but he collects tractors, and he likes to show them off at the event.
There's not a lot of conveniences on these tractors. It's all hand clutch and hand start, basically, and so it's just, everything's pretty modern nowadays, so it's nice to see the old stuff.
The day also features other USDA agencies, as well as the North Dakota Ag Department and local businesses.
So it's a great place to learn.
In Mandan, North Dakota, this is Jenny Schlecht for Ag Week.
The event draws about 1,000 people every year.
Next, the lads and I visit one of the longest running truck gardeners in the I-29 corridor.
There's something for everyone at Dakota Fest, August 21st, 22nd, and 23rd in Mitchell, South Dakota, featuring over 500 suppliers, education sessions from SDSU Extension, and don't miss Chad Greenway speak on Tuesday. Plus, pig races are back at the all-new Farm Bureau Financial Services Rural Lifestyle Pavilion. For discounted admission and to download the show app, visit dakotafest.com today. Dakota Fest is sponsored by South Dakota State University Extension, Farm Credit Services of America, and Farm Bureau Financial Services.
Total Ag Industries is the leader in total control. The future of ceramic nozzle technology is here today with the Total Ag Air Induction Turbo Nozzle, the only ceramic triple spray nozzle on the market. Works with all sprayers for better weed control and wheel tracks. Are you ready for a longer lasting sprayer nozzle? Call 701-636-4524 with a 100 nozzle order. Get free night lights or 10% off your order.
For over 40 years, Northside Implement has been your Gell and Vermeer dealer in Webster, South Dakota and Lidgerwood, North Dakota. With new equipment including feeding, grain handling, haying, and skid steer, as well as a nice selection of used equipment including sprayers, spreaders, seeding, as well as tractors and loaders. Northside Implement stands behind the equipment they sell with quality service guaranteed. See us for all your repairs and parts, from tillage to skid steer loaders to combines and everything in between. Contact Dave, Lydell, Tom, or Chris today at Northside Implement or visit our website for our complete equipment listing.
Luckin Trucks and Parts sells quality used parts for all makes and models. With over 50 acres of trucks and parts and new inventory arriving daily. Family owned and operated since 1966, Luckin's specializes in the sale of quality used medium to heavy duty truck parts as well as pre-owned trucks, trailers, and construction equipment. If it's on a truck, we got it. Call us today and let us get you your part.
Where do you go for the latest news in agriculture? AgWeek magazine. Reaching over 70,000 farmers and ranchers in North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Montana. AgWeek provides the most up-to-date information on the markets, the trends, and the people who make it all happen. We're your source for news, not fluff. Dependable, trusted. AgWeek. Subscribe today by calling 1-800-811-2580.
Sanderson Gardens in eastern South Dakota may be the longest running commercial gardens on the I-29 corridor. Michael Pates visited Jan Sanderson, who's been a truck gardener for 42 years.
12 years old was the first time I had to present my business plan to the president of the bank.
By the time he got out of high school, Sanderson had saved up a nice college fund from the garden, but he didn't need it. He got a full-ride wrestling scholarship from the University of Iowa. The family garden also generated enough money to educate Jan's 7 brothers and a sister. But after college, Jan and a brother Lon returned to the garden to make it a full-time venture. Jan eventually bought the land from his father.
We had a little bit of everything. Tomatoes and sweet corn were kind of the base, but then we grew lettuce and potatoes. We tried to sell it from the farm, but back then there wasn't nearly the interest that there is now in locally grown stuff.
Rising costs forced Sanderson to phase out of the wholesale business, but now there's renewed customer interest in getting pick-your-own produce direct from the farm.
The last 10 or 15 years, I don't leave the farm anymore to speak of.
For the honor system, we open up the cooler and find ourselves a bag of delicious asparagus. We put it on the handy-dandy scale, and 5.5 times 3. 1650, and we put it in the money box.
And if someone's taking something or stealing something, there's a lot of people that probably appreciate what we're doing and pay a little more than they should. So I think it works out.
As with any kind of commercial farming, truck gardening is more sustainable with a good sense of humor and adaptability. For Ag Week, this is Michael Pates at Aurora, South Dakota.
Sanderson Gardens offers both pick vegetables or pick your own. Thanks for watching this week's edition of AgWeek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com or download the AgWeek app. And be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. See you next week.